What is Verismo? I'm moving, so you have to excuse this. I used to have like a really big Tosca poster right here and another one right there. I'm moving. Verismo is an Italian style of opera that actually stemmed from a literary movement of the same name, which in turn stemmed from naturalism, which was a movement based on the theories of Émile Zola. Verismo operas didn't really focus on gods or mythical heroes or kings and queens. They more focused on everyday people and everyday life. Verismo in Italian actually means truth or realism. You see this starting to happen with Mussorgsky's Boris Godunov, where he focused on peasants alongside aristocracy and church figures. Of course, Mussorgsky wasn't really part of the Italian Verismo style, but he was... I got a text. But he was an active proponent and precursor to the style. I just really like Mussorgsky, so I wanted to mention him. Though there are operas from other countries that focus on a realist style, they aren't really considered Verismo because they aren't part of this very Italian movement. Some of the big Verismo composers include Pietro Mascagni, Ruggero Lencovalo, Umberto Giordano, Francesco Cilea, and the one, the only, man after my own heart, Giacomo Puccini. Puccini is actually the most well-known Verismo composer simply because his works are staged most often around the world. But other well-known composers include Mascagni, Leoncavallo, and Giordano, who wrote Cavalleria Rusticana, Pagliacci, and Andrea Chenier, respectively. Each of these operas feature everyday people in everyday situations, underscored by huge dramatic instrumentation and a through-composed style of opera, meaning that people wouldn't stop and just start singing their arias, but rather the drama and the continuous musical line would influence performers to sing their arias. Puccini's Tosca might actually be the best example of Verismo in opera. It's also my favorite opera! The story of Tosca centers around three main characters: Cavaradossi, Tosca, and Scarpia. It's technically four main characters if you include Angelotti as one of them, but he's kind of like the catalyst for everything that happens. Cavaradossi is but a humble painter who begins the opera by painting a portrait of Mary Magdalene for a church. Cavaradossi's old friend and now escaped political prisoner Angelotti comes into the church searching for a place to hide away. Their clandestine meeting is interrupted by Cavaradossi's jealous lover and famous opera singer, Floria Tosca, who comes in demanding to know who Cavaradossi used as a model for his painting of Mary Magdalene. Scarpia, chief of police, thinks that Cavaradossi is hiding Angelotti, but he just needs proof. So over the course of the opera, he tries to use Tosca against Cavaradossi. This opera is based on Sardou's play, which takes place during the French Revolutionary Wars in 1800. Throughout the course of the opera, the side story is that no one knows whether or not Napoleon has won the war. And in the beginning, it's thought that Italy has won against Napoleon, but we find out in the second act that it is actually Napoleon who has conquered Italy's troops. As one can see, this opera is based heavily in historical truth, and many of the places featured in the opera are actually still standing in Rome today. For example, the Castel Sant'Angelo, where Tosca throws herself to her death at the end. Though the plot points of the opera seem to be heavily dramatized and blown out of proportion, they're still based in reality. Combined with these true-to-life characters and events, the sweeping music and dramatic, long, sweeping lines of this through-composed opera really make it a key example of Verismo. Kendra, you've been in the room for, like, most of the time I've been making this video. Do you understand, like, what Verismo is? Do you feel like I explained it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Can you tell me what Verismo is? Can you tell me what it means?
It's a very romantic idea. You have to use the word sweeping a lot to convey it. And you might commit suicide at the end. Who knows?
You good, Tessa?
Yeah. Let's just knock
I'm
each
just
other
really
out.
happy, okay? Let me